Well, what is happening, horror fans? Welcome back to the channel. I am D-WIZZLE, and finally, we are back talking about Conjuring Universe in Review, where we will be reviewing, you guessed it, every movie in the Conjuring universe, including The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, which is coming out on HBO Max and in theaters in June. We've already talked about the first Conjuring movie, so if you guys haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check out that video. But today we are moving on to the second installment of the Conjuring universe and a prequel to the Conjuring. We'll be talking about Annabelle. And joining with me today, I have Shannon Jeffrey.
Hi.
And I have from the YouTube channel Suki, Michael.
What's up?
Shannon does have a YouTube channel too, but she hasn't posted anything in a while, so I don't know if she might
Hey.
promote that or not.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, go ahead. Check out her
Well,
channel. Check out his channel. That's all great stuff. So before we get into Annabelle, yes, we did see the trailer for The Conjuring and Devil Made Me Do It. It came out this morning as of this recording, so we just watched it. So I'm gonna get your guys' quick thoughts. What do you guys think about the trailer? Did it change your expectations for the movie? Did it lessen your expectations? What are your initial thoughts?
I am remaining skeptical just because, after watching the trailer, I found out that it's not directed by James Wan. So I'm a bit like, I'll be skeptical about it just because it might be different from like all the other Conjuring movies, and that could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing because there are some films in the series that were like really good and ones that were just not hitting the mark. So yeah, I'm a bit skeptical, but I'll try to stay open-minded, I guess.
What you, Mike?
It feels different from especially the first one to like the horror element. I feel like they're going a different route, and I don't feel it's gonna be more so scary, but more just like supernatural.
Like action packed.
Yeah. So I don't know how to really feel about this, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, so instantly I felt this feels different from the James Wan Conjuring movies. I noticed that instantly. The person directing this is the one who did Curse of La Llorona, which we'll get into that when we get there. But so it's been making me apprehensive. But from a production standpoint, it looks good. And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, I'm always happy to see them. It does look like it's trying to be more of a big budget horror film. It's trying to push the effects. It looks the most effects heavy of the Conjuring universe. So it's like, I mean, I might get a kick out of that, but as far as the scares and the tension and the suspense, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it's like there won't be too much effects on the screen where it's like it just feels like visual noise. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic. So, but anyway, let's get into this movie. Let's talk about Annabelle. So, you guys have watched our review for the first Conjuring. You guys know we thought the first Conjuring was pretty good. Thought it was a really solid start to the universe. James Wan directed the hell out of that movie, and yeah, just it felt fresh. When it came out that time. Compared to the other horror films that we've been getting, that's been lackluster. So the one thing that this universe has been pushing is this little doll called Annabelle. So Annabelle was an interesting concept in the movie, but I felt it didn't really go anywhere. It felt like set up for other movies, or they're trying to push for its own spin-off and stuff. So I don't know. I was open to seeing what they would do with this doll, since they're just pushing her so hard. It's like, oh, something must be really cool that's gonna happen with this thing. Um, so yeah, this was the next movie I saw after Conjuring. I did see all of these in the order that they were released. So So yeah, I was looking forward to this. I didn't see this in theaters though. I saw this on TV. So uh so what did I think about this film? Well, for them hyping this doll up so much, this is one of the most boring horror films I've ever seen. I did not like this movie. Man, I didn't really know what to expect with this, but it's like I expected more than this because, as I said, they were pushing this doll so hard. Like, oh, it's the token of this universe. It's going to be so creepy and interesting and all this. And I'm just like, you give them the opportunity to have its own spinoff, and you don't do anything with it. And I'm just really disappointed. Yeah, the director for this movie is John R. Leonetti. Do you guys know who that person is? He directed Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh,
And he was a cinematographer on Child's Play 3.
I haven't seen
Mm.
that one.
So, um, I mean, do I expect James Wan to direct every movie in this franchise? No. I'm open to seeing what other directors do, but the fact that you got him to do this, why? Such a step down in quality, and you just feel it watching this movie. Like, it's not scary, it's not suspenseful, the storyline is boring, and it this movie constantly did the thing that I say this that I hate in horror films is the obnoxious loud noise jump scare nonsense. It's all throughout this film. It's just Annabelle digging around the entire movie, and I'm just like, this movie didn't need to exist. Like, really didn't like it. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. Mike, what did you think about Annabelle?
Okay, so I'm just gonna. There's one thing I can say that I thought that I liked about it. Just one thing, and that's like during the like before the jump scare, or if it's like a long take, it's just like silence. It's not like any music building up. It's just like silence to, I guess, make you feel more eerie or something like that. So I did like that, but like you said, the jump scares I thought were awful, and it was boring. It took a minute for us to like see Annabelle and stuff like that, and I thought they were just scenes that we didn't really need. So yeah, I didn't really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shannon, what did you think about Annabelle?
I think that it's just another character in the Conjuring series that was really scary in someone else's film. And then when they had their own film in the series, they're not nearly as scary. That's just what I think. It
So
was
like the
pretty
nun.
tame. Yes. But that was like not scary for like its own unique reason. And I think like we could talk about the nun more later, but the nun was not that scary because there were a lot of things that were facts in that world, in that realm, that are not factual in real life. So it really takes you out because you just have to accept what the filmmakers are telling you to be true. Like, the whole like, they had the blood of Jesus built into the wall. You can't find the blood of Jesus anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
look around. It's nowhere. But yeah, it's like, well, not in like those little, anyway. So not in the little relics. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, so like there are just a lot of things in the nun that just didn't make sense. And I feel like Annabelle, they do have a character where they can kind of use that because it's her own unique story, if that makes sense. Like it's not really something that we don't all experience. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like you know, they can create kind of facts about Annabelle that are a little bit out there, to kind of up the story. And I feel like it was just kind of flatlining. It was pretty tame, um, throughout the whole film. So I don't know. Does that make sense though?
No,
Mhm.
no, yeah, yeah, we get what you're saying. We get what you're saying.
Oh, okay, that's good. But yeah, she was just it was just a lot scarier in that scene from The Conjuring
Mhm.
when she was like rocking on the chair and then the rocking chair like, you know, flew at them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a lot scarier to watch that than to watch the entire Annabelle movie.
And
Yeah.
like I feel like Annabelle was stationary for like most of the movie. Like all we did was see her in different spots. A door would open, a lady in white would walk past, the door would close, next scene, and it would happen again.
Like she's peeking through the crack of the door, and then oops, the doll drops right in front of them. Ah, here I am.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
The actual story for Annabelle is actually like pretty scary. If you like look it up, it's actually really scary. And like that's what's so ironic is that like don't they like up the intensity of like real life stories in films to make it more like exciting?
Normally, yes.
They like totally tamed it. Like, ooh, it's a doll.
Wait,
Ooh.
okay, I have a question for you guys. Does
Yeah.
the
Mm.
Annabelle doll look cheesy to you guys too, or is it just me?
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that doll looks hilarious to me. Oh my goodness. I don't know
I
why
think
they
it's the
didn't just use it.
eyelashes.
Oh
Yeah.
The
yeah, and like
eyelashes and the eyeshadow and the blush. I'm like, she looks like a clown. Like
they should have just used like a real Raggedy Ann doll, since that's what it's based off of.
I feel like that would be kind of cheesy unless it was like in black and white. I don't know.
That would be kind of dope.
I mean,
I feel like both of them were just cheesy. I feel like dolls can be, it's very hard, especially with Chucky. It's very hard to make a doll look intense and scary.
right.
Like,
I
Right.
couldn't
just
take it
stupid.
seriously. I couldn't take the movie seriously because every time I saw her, I was like, "What is that? Ew!"
Like I don't even understand why people want this doll. It's so ugly. Like when they put him up on the shelf with the other nicer looking dolls, it just looks out of place. Like look, it's like Bunny with the Powerpuff Girls. Like something doesn't belong
Oh my
here.
goodness.
That's the thing that they had to just write into the script, and you have to just accept it is the fact that there are people out there who think that doll is cute. Like,
Me to each his own, I guess.
anybody.
To each his own.
Yeah.
Who?
Huh?
Who thinks that
Well,
doll is cute? I need to
well, no
talk
one
to
in
him.
real life, but the characters, honestly, like they kept her, right?
Yeah,
So
that's very true. Speaking of, let's talk about these characters. Um, so we have Mia, played by Annabelle Wallace. I think she's all right. The only other thing I saw her in was the 2017 Mummy movie with Tom Cruise, and she was man that I forgot she was in this movie to be honest, but she was fine. And then um, her husband in the movie what was it, Ward Horton, played by John Form. He was fine too. I would say like the acting is pretty good in this movie. That's probably the one thing where I'm like, okay, that's not bad. They're giving it their all in this movie. It's just the fact that this is not where we expected the Annabelle storyline to go to, because like literally the movie starts with the flashback from the first movie with those nurses talking about Annabelle with the Warrens. So it's like we were expecting, won't we get more development with the nurses? Like, nope, that's just set up for a different conflict that's not as interesting. Like this married couple is, expecting a baby, and they live in Santa Monica, California, and nobody locks their doors for some reason. It's like, I mean, okay, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because this takes place in 1967, so it's probably a different time period where people were, didn't feel as threatened by society. So it's like, yeah, we don't gotta unlock our doors.
Yo, but I remember like the Manson family was running around too, because I remember on the TV they were talking about like Charles Manson and stuff.
Yeah, so like at that point, you should be
So
like, "Yep, time to lock them doors, honey."
yeah, it's time to go. Like,
But yeah, I guess with me watching this like in the 21st century, it's just really odd and kind of dumb just to see them be like, oh, we're not gonna lock our doors. Like we don't expect anybody to just walk in and do anything. It's just like it just feels odd, but it's a I guess it's a period piece technically. These movies feel really modern for them to be taking place in the 60s and the 70s. Like if you told me this took place in modern day, I would probably believe you because there's not really anything different about it other than okay, the cars look slightly older and they're still record players and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. The time frame that they're using is not as apparent as it should be, but that's a nitpick though. Um and then we have Evelyn, played by Alfred Woodward. Alfred Woodward. I hope I said that right. She's a really good actress. I really like her, and she was pretty good in this, but they don't give her much to do. She's like the what was it, the bookstore owner that had also had a past with some demonic spirits, and she lost her what was it, her daughter or something like that, which they don't connect to Annabelle at all. So it's like, I don't know why you're telling us about this. Like you missed an opportunity to just develop Annabelle as an entity. It's like there's so many opportunities for them to just properly build up what this Annabelle thing is. But after watching this, I still don't know what the hell this doll is. What does it do? What is the spirit? How powerful is it?
it rocks in chairs.
Huh?
Annabelle rocks in her rocking chair. That's all she
That's
does.
what it is. And then calling spirits to do whatever. Yeah, just the entity pimp, as I said in the previous review.
Oh my
Probably a
god.
pimp for other spirits. Which, okay, that's fine, but talk about that. Talk about that. We don't know the extent of her power. Like, she feels like a Mary Sue type of thing. Like, she's filled with plot armor because you can't destroy her because the spirit won't go away. You can't give it to anybody else because the spirit will haunt wherever they go. So Lily just stuck with this doll. So it's like, can we just explain what this thing is? What is going on right now? Um, and then as far as these other spirits that is haunting Mia and John, it's like, okay, they first start with the next door neighbors got murdered. They see it through the window, and then like I guess these two people are possessed, and we're led to assume that it's the spirit of Annabelle that's possessing them. But then they're like, oh, that doesn't have anything to do with it. They just brought that up for no reason. I'm just like, what's the point? What is the point? God damn. Anyway, I've been talking on. Any characters that you liked? Any plot lines that you thought was that was okay, or it's like whatever?
Shannon, did you want to go ahead?
I'm losing
Um,
my mind.
I mean, all I'll say about this is that I am bummed that they didn't go into the nurse's story, because that's the story that I read right after watching the first Conjuring, was that like Annabelle's backstory was about like the two girls living together and one of their boyfriends who had also like an encounter with Annabelle. So I thought that they were going to go after like that story from the Conjuring, and then they didn't go into it. And then there was like this whole, well, they did like the beginning thing, and then there was like, you know, like you said, the other story that we were following. And then also, yeah, I totally agree with that, like, you know, possession story, that other story. It's kind of like in the Conjuring 2, how they introduce the nun, and then you're thinking, oh well, the nun is just, you know, like, how is she going to fit into this story, but she somehow did. She did fit into the Conjuring 2 like a lot more than the other ghost story, like possession story with Annabelle. So I don't know. It just seemed like I don't know. It seemed a bit messy. Just the writing was a bit messy.
Yeah, there's like three different three different plot points or setups that they have in this movie, and they all are cop
Just
outs. Like,
don't go into it. Yeah.
right? It's like they don't want to go with the fact that, oh, it's just a demonic spirit out of nowhere possessing the doll, and it doesn't do anything. Or they don't want to. They want to be like, oh, there's this woman that died years ago that probably possessed a doll, but no, that's not what it is either. Or this whole setup with Evelyn and the daughter dying, and oh
Yeah.
well, no, that has nothing to do with anything. And then there's nothing tied to Mia's, family or anything like that. It's just a coincidence or whatever. So it's like, what are we doing here? Like,
I think they were just trying to establish that the characters were not like skeptics, maybe. I don't know. Like,
sure.
especially Evelyn wasn't like skeptical, but
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
These characters made me angry.
They went-
These characters made me angry. So the
Yeah, me
dad,
too.
right? So when the mom finds the pictures the kids drew of like the baby and stuff
oh,
like
that
that.
too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, look, so the wife shows the dad the pictures and he just makes a joke. He's like, should we tell their parents? I'm like, yes, tell their parents. It's not funny. And then they just dismiss it. Freaking when the wife, okay, so the popcorn scene, right? When
Yeah.
it magically catches on fire and the house gets burnt, is starting to burn in like 3 seconds. She's just like, and then falls and she gets pulled back and she doesn't say something's happening, we gotta go. She's just like, what's happening? And I'm like,
Michael, the sound that you made, it reminded me of, like the Hannah Montana when it's like, ooh, whoa, whoa. When it's like really sad.
Yeah.
Imagine that playing as she fell through the floor.
but that's what she did. And I'm like, dude, I understand stupidity in horror movies. I understand ignorance in horror movies.
I don't.
No, okay. Well, I don't either. But it's like you got dragged. A fire started within 3 seconds, and you're seeing this woman run at you, and you don't even tell your husband. Well, no, I think she did tell the husband, but it's like he dismisses it, and I'm like, why don't you just like go call a priest, do something instead of just watching your 1962 television?
Yeah, we
Like,
wait till the fourth occurrence to do something. like, like what in the world? And then, oh gosh, with the record player, when she turns on the record player and then she has it playing for a while and then she turns it off and then Annabelle turns it back on and then she goes back and turns it off again and then it turns back on and then like at that point I'm like, what the hell is going on? But she's like, nah, that's whatever. And then she hears some noise at the window and then she's putting her hand up slowly like an idiot and then and then this little girl running down the hallway and just like, what in the world is going on? And then she goes into the room and follows him. And then she looks outside the door of the room. And then she sees that little creepy girl. And I'm like, I know people love this shot. People say that this is the highlight of the movie. When the girl runs in and the door closes, and then she pushes the door, and then the bigger woman appears. Like,
I'll be honest with you about that shot. Watching it now, it looks terrible. But back then, when I saw it on the commercial, I was like, oh, that was nice. But
yeah, sure. First initial, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of clever. But like watching it now, I'm like, this is so silly.
I think that they knew that. I think that they. I think that. Sorry, my dad.
Okay.
I think that they knew that that was going to be like a really popular or liked thing because they were like just milking it in like the previews and the trailers. Yeah, they were really just like selling that. They were like, we got to put that in all the trailers and like
Yeah.
let's do like a short commercial where we just show that one scene and then we put Annabelle. and like that was literally like 2014. Or what year was this? 2013?
2014.
2014?
Yeah, literally a year after The Conjuring. So like, yeah, we gonna push this out quickly.
Yeah.
And then
like literally every channel, every commercial, Annabelle.
yeah, and then like that's
okay.
like the most creative shot in the movie. Like, and
they milked it. We were bored of it by the time we were watching it.
Right.
You guys remember the elevator scene where the elevator kept opening
and shutting and opening and shutting and opening and
like
shutting
4 times. Then she decided to run out. She was like, she just started going.
Like, why is this scene going on for so long?
The characters are like Sims. They're literally
like she kept pressing.
They're like, you're
Bro, she looked so scared. She kept pressing.
It like she thought something was gonna happen.
She's like, oh, they're not gonna get me today.
Hang on, I'm gonna fix the elevator.
And then that freaking baby carriage in the storage unit. She's like, first of all, something should go off in your brain being like, why is there a baby carriage in the storage unit? Like, I would not go near that. Something is wrong.
Somebody forgot their baby.
In the storage unit. Like, what the hell, man?
Oh my goodness.
And then the devil makes an appearance in this movie. He's like, flash of lightning.
Wait a minute. Why did she keep looking at the hand? Like when she was on the steps, why did she keep trying to look at it? She kept
delayed reaction. Like
she's like, I'm gonna see who this is. I need to see this.
Oh
she
God,
care for her family.
Bro. I know. Literally every character turns into like detectives in every horror movie.
And then
I'm gonna investigate.
They want to play detective. They're acting stupid. It's like, what the hell? After that, that whole thing in the storage unit and the elevator, Annabelle marks her on the arm or whatever. So it's thinking, oh, that's something that they could show to the FBI, being like, oh, there's a demonic spirit. But conveniently, the mark disappears the next day when she talks to the FBI agent. I'm like,
yeah, that's stupid.
That is stupid, but to be honest, I guess that's believable. But I don't know.
I feel like if they wanted to like sell it as like a possession thing, they could, but they'd have to possess her. Like they could easily be like, oh, well, Annabelle made her think that there was a mark there by like feeling it and, and stuff like that. But then that would be like a possession involved thing. I'm obviously a ghost hunter, if you guys don't know. And so like it just doesn't make sense if it's like an exterior thing that they're trying to sell, where it's like Annabelle like quickly scratched her and then like gave her like a supernatural band-aid or something. Like ghostly neosporin or something.
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God. Like, that's the problem. Like, we don't know what Annabelle wants. What does she want? Does she want to possess somebody? Does she just want to scare people? Or does she want to kill somebody? Like,
she just wants to have fun.
Girls just want to have fun. Wait, but okay, so I have a question. Who Annabelle is like some little girl, right?
Yeah, that's what we
where was she in the movie? Where was like the girl taking over Annabelle in the movie?
I don't know if there was actually something that took over her in the movie, like because like we could assume it was that little girl that turned to a big girl in the film, but like we don't know if that is just a fake out thing
Wait,
or
but okay, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. The dude, the husband brings in the doll, so the doll's already like cursed.
yeah, the doll's already cursed, so there's no setup to how she got to that point until Annabelle creation, where they actually explain things there. But it's like
But but that makes no sense, Dwayne.
it does not make sense.
So, wait a minute, Dwayne. So you mean to tell me I just watched the explain where Annabelle came from? It's just a
Wait,
doll from the dollar store. I just wish they explained her story like in the Annabelle movie and not just like assume we know it.
Yeah. Um like yeah, it's like you pick your first movie and it's just, oh, this is just another occurrence that Annabelle happened to cause, and there's no origin or nothing. You gotta wait till Annabelle creation. So it's like,
Mhm.
okay, whatever.
Wait,
Born
I'm confused. So, like, for all through like The Conjuring, I thought it was like an actual like demon adults like type of an entity that was like possessing the doll.
hmm
So I'm confused. What is it?
Um, so I can't tell you exactly because I haven't watched Annabelle Creation in years. So maybe after we watch that, things will be a little more clear. But
Okay.
yeah, I believe it was this little girl named Annabelle. I don't know.
It's just
Why
funny
is it a little
because
girl though?
yeah, like if it's a little girl, it makes me think of like, little Susie from Phineas and Ferb.
Wait, what?
Like
Oh my
uh uh who is it? Jeremy's little sister from Phineas and Ferb.
goodness.
That's who I think of. Think of a little girl possessing a doll.
I don't think a little girl will go around will be this smart and
I
doing all
know.
this and killing people.
I
Also,
Like,
mean,
why would she? I feel like we've established in classic horror genre that it's usually like a demon or something like inhuman that like possesses it to be like really crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know.
It
Like
just
I feel like people don't do that. People don't have the time. Ghosts don't have the time.
oh, they have all the
I
time
don't
in the
know.
world. They're ghosts. They don't got nowhere to be.
but like, why is the girl doing this though? Like, did she make enemies or something? Like,
I don't.
Yeah.
And for it to be a girl, not a grown adult dealing with
grown ass
adult
man.
problems, it's like I don't, I don't know. It's like that's the thing. You're just not as fleshing out your rules as well as you should. So I don't. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. And speaking of possessing little girls, there's this plot line where Annabelle is trying to take over them, take the soul of their baby daughter, Leia.
Mhm.
And so they make this whole thing of people have to give. I think it's pretty much saying they have to give consent in order for demons to take the soul, and it's I think that's what they said. It's like they have to
Hmm.
consent. But
Just say no.
right. But then their loophole is that babies don't need consent because they don't say anything.
That's so gross.
That
That
is
just doesn't even feel right.
disgusting, bro.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna go
Ugh.
down there, we're gonna get a little dark for a second. So let's compare this to real life. So women, no, I'm about to go there. We're about to go there because we're about to go there. So women normally give consent with having sex, correct?
Uh-huh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So Does
And
that
men,
mean that adults don't need
both.
consent of little kids because they don't because they're not able to articulate the consent?
You
That's
need
I mean, it's nigga, what?
like what kind of rule is this? I'm sorry, it's just making my brain explode. Like you can't just take over a soul because the baby can't verbally or mentally say, "Oh, I can't. I don't give you my soul. My soul is pure." Like, what is this?
everyone needs legal consent, and
Yes.
children are not old enough to give legal consent.
It is not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not me thinking this, it's I'm going off
Yeah.
of the logic that the movie is telling me. So
Yes.
Annabelle's able to attempt to take the soul of this baby because the baby isn't developed enough to think about, protecting her soul.
Yeah. That it definitely is poor logic on their part if they're
I think we
saying,
should sue them,
yeah.
make this argument, take them to court,
I
and get
should.
money.
I should, but
Uh-huh.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's never the spirit.
You're implying that you don't need consent for kids.
That's terrible.
Very bad logic.
Right. And it's like, as we said, this movie plays it so safe. Like, even though that's fucked up, like
Mm-hmm.
I will take anything at this point. Go for it, man. Get dark, get messed up because like
Or just end the movie.
right. Don't because it's so boring. It's like, yeah, go ahead, take the spirit of this baby or kill the baby. I don't care, do something. But like the closest they do is like, oh, I'm about to drop some books on her head.
Is it okay if I say something?
Sure.
It's kind of out of line, but you know what the Annabelle doll reminds me of?
No.
It reminds me of like a hoe or like a stripper or something. Just like I would, okay, look, I would pay to see like what Annabelle does in her free time. Like I would pay to see her jump off the shelf.
No.
Just
Like,
see what like
I mean,
that would be more entertaining than this movie.
yeah, whatever the hell she was doing in this film. Oh, there was that cool thing of okay, so the priest in this movie, let me pull up his name real quick. Father Perez. He was pretty good. I don't know if we talked too much about him, but he was pretty good. But there was this one scene where he attempted to take the doll to church and I guess perform some sort of exorcism to get the demonic spirit out of the doll. But one of the possessed zombie spirits that she took over whatever stopped him and like force pushed the father outside the doors of the church. And first we thought he died because he's bleeding on the canvas or whatever, but he's back at the hospital. But then there's later on at the apartment, Mia gets a knock on the door and she opens it and it's the priest. And it's like it's not really the priest, but it's like a demonic spirit took over the priest. And then there was a whole thing of, may God have mercy on your soul. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It doesn't go anywhere. I just I just brought that up because that was a cool setup that goes nowhere. I like that.
classic Annabelle. Setup
Yeah.
goes nowhere. Setup
Yeah.
goes nowhere.
Yep. And then I guess how they resolve the conflict is Evelyn sacrifices herself. She takes the Annabelle doll and jumps out of a window and dies. And that's how they resolve the conflict. What? 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 Okay.
I don't understand too, because they also didn't they. I feel like the only way to resolve the conflict is have it separated from, like, society. Have it like separated from like living people. Because didn't they establish in the very beginning of like the Conjuring that like if you destroy the vessel, it doesn't get rid of the demon, it just gets rid of the vessel.
Right.
So like I don't understand the ending. Did they cheat that? That
I think that's what that thing was, is like if because I think she technically surrendered her soul to Annabelle, so in order to do that she had
it
to
was a sacrifice.
sacrifice. Yeah.
That makes no
Okay.
sense though. But like, I thought, okay, here's where it loses me. It's supposed to be somewhat grounded in reality, right? Like the first
Mhm.
one kind of was, because it was supposed to be like based on this true story or whatever. And now with the third Conjuring, they're doing like another story. So this whole Annabelle one, she jumped out of a window for what reason?
To sacrifice her soul so they won't take over, so they won't haunt Maya and her kid and her husband anymore.
So you mean to tell me if a ghost is haunting me and I want to protect my family, I'm gonna take the
Jump out the
doll
window.
and
Jump
jump
out
out
the
the
window
window
with the doll in hand. With the doll in hand.
and have it be slow motion. All right, I'll do that.
It
Yeah.
has to be filmed in 60 frames or more.
Makes
You can put
perfect
it in slow
sense.
motion.
Upload it to my channel.
Yeah. After you die, of course,
Mhm.
upload it to your channel.
Mhm.
You know, if James Wan was directing this, he would have made it look cool, but it just looked
Mhm.
so I don't have anything else to talk about. You guys, anything else you guys want to bring up before we close this out?
No.
Well, all right then. Overall, this movie is bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It sucks. It's boring.
Terrible.
Like I don't know what their logic is. Like, is this is what you were building up so much, and I almost feel blue balled, man. It's like this doll does absolutely nothing, and I still don't understand the physics or the rules of this doll, and the scares aren't even that great. The jump scares are atrocious. The logic of the characters are idiotic in places, and there's even some oh my gosh, like just so many like fake outs where they could have built up this character. Like they put in so many plot points that go nowhere. So yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Annabelle. I don't want to see any more of her, but they made 2 more movies of this freaking doll. So this is not the last time we'll be talking about her. But yeah, I'm gonna give Annabelle. Well, I have a new grade system now, so if I was going by that, it's trash. It's trash. But since we're doing the out of 10 thing, since y'all like to do the out of 10, I'll be consistent. So it gets a 5 out of 10.
What?
5 out of 10. It sucks. Anyway, Shannon.
Like a 3, maybe, or a 2.
I'm in the same ballpark with Shannon.
Okay, so y'all hate bitter hatred.
I just don't care to see it again.
I
Like,
almost
I
fell
really
asleep.
don't care.
That's how bored I was. And I don't fall asleep on movies except for that one time in Star Wars, but we don't talk about that.
You snort so loud
What, you were there?
in the theater.
Glenn, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. It was a long shift.
Which one was it?
It was the last one.
You were like 2 seats away from me.
I worked a long shift. I had like 30 Burger King chicken nuggets. I'm sorry. And it was cold. It was cold that night.
Oh my
All right,
god.
whatever. I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan anyway, but you're really not, because if I ask you some questions about Star Wars, you'd be like, wait, what is that?
You know what? Return of the Jedi is the best of all time.
Well, that's one thing we can agree on.
Thank you.
But okay, yeah. Since I was being too nice, y'all are right. 3 out of 10. Fuck this movie. Uh, but yeah, that's our thoughts on Annabelle. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Comment below. Let us know. So the next movie in the Conjuring universe we'll be talking about is The Conjuring 2.
Woo!
Yes, so hey, we're going to go to a good movie next time.
Yes, sir.
Tune in for that when it comes out. If you guys enjoyed this rant, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be notified on future videos I'll be doing. Don't forget to subscribe to Michael's channel, which is Suki, and Shannon Jeffrey's channel. But that's all we have for you horror fans, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Peace.